A while since we've done a live show, so of course this is going to be good fun. It's great fun, always good fun doing the live show. And remember, after this live show there is going to be a vlog that's going to go live, so make sure first thing that you guys do after watching this is you go and watch the vlog. This is going to be pretty fun. We're going to be making a shelf bracket. I have some 16mm square, about 5/8 inch square bar. This is nice. I rarely get to work with mild steel. I don't have to polish it, I don't have to etch it, I don't have to then heat treat it. This is a piece of mild steel and I get to just hammer on it and be done. I rarely get to do that, Sam. Goodness gracious, it's like I'll be a farrier today. Don't have to do any polishing. Oh wait, you guys use a grinder all the time, don't you? Oh, flowing already. Okay, humor aside, this is going to be good fun. Welcome if you're joining in. I know a lot of you guys are trickling in. Welcome, 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 welcome. Great to have you here. Episode 44, making a shelf bracket. It's going to be
too late to do what you did to that one,
What? Oh, we got the... Let's have a look. Let's see what we can do. No, it's the same. It's on the right setting. Blurry as in focus.
It's like motion blurry as opposed to like focus.
Maybe the computers. Huh. I don't know. Honestly, I can't say what I think the cure is. It's on the same setting it would have been on the last show. What it might be is the computer's bogging down and it's not able to keep up. I don't know what it is. Maybe some commenters know what it is. But yeah, good fun. What a fantastic week it is. I'm going to show you the sword as it stands now because the steel is still heating up. Welcome to episode 44. If you're just joining us, we're going to be making a shelf bracket. But I'm running and I'm going to grab the sword because I know you all want to see this. I dare say, isn't that looking marvelous, Sam? Here it is. I know you guys wanted to see it. Here it is. Now, the Damascus pattern, wow, I could not have asked for a better Damascus pattern. Look at that. Do you know how much effort went into making the wet paint Damascus steel pattern? It was a serious, serious effort. So I'm just so pleased with how that came out. Even got the masking tape effect in the Damascus. Just lovely. So that's fun. The next episode, remember if you're joining us, next episode of the sword is going to be coming out probably 10 minutes after we end this stream. So make sure you've got your notifications on. Should I give something away to whoever comments in the first minute on this? On the vlog? Should we give away a t-shirt?
Sword.
No, we're not giving away the sword, Sam. He's just saying that because he wants to try and win it. Yeah, we'll give away a t-shirt. So make sure your notifications are on, and when the vlog goes live, about 10 minutes after we end this, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and hit like. There we go. And I'll pick somebody in the first minute or two to give a t-shirt to. A good comment is going to give you a better chance of doing it. And then you can email me, and we'll get you your t-shirt. So, let's do some forging. I want to do some forging. Okie dokie. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a little cut here. A cut is always a little bit of an attractive and simple finial. And so I'm just playing around. The whole idea of this is have some fun. Swing a hand hammer. I do not swing a hand hammer very much in a lot of the work that I do. Certainly this week, I found very little opportunity to swing a hand hammer, only to clean up the strokes from the power hammer. So it is jolly nice to be back at the anvil, hammering away here. Just lovely. So there's that little cut. Wonderful. I will now, it's not wanting to break off. Let me grab a pair of tongs and wring it off. And from there, I'm then going to be able to lay out where I'm going to do my next thing. So my next thing is going to be a fuller line. Why? Just for fun and aesthetics. And I'm going to be doing it 30mm from this near edge right there. And what the fuller line is going to enable me to do is give me a flat surface to then be able to do a little hole in, which will be nice, because then you'll have a fixing point for this little shelf bracket. So this is all just about having some fun and hammering on some hot steel at last. Welcome, episode 44. If you guys are just joining us, we're making a shelf bracket. And it's great to be back at an anvil again with a hand hammer in my hand. Ah, it's lovely. Right, let me get rid of this. There we go. And at this colder temperature, I will lay out that full mark. Make sure it's where I want it. There we go. So how are we all? Would love to hear what you've all been up to this week in the workshop. If you've been in your workshop, I'm always excited to hear that. If you haven't been in the workshop, you can still say hello too. That's always a great thing. Sam is here in the workshop today. How's your week been this week, Sam?
Hot, miserable, and not conducive to hard work.
Ah, well that sounds like an extraordinarily unproductive week, Sam. Actually, I must confess, Wednesday I did indeed find myself up at the beach for a swim and a run. I know full well what he's saying. Now, for us British folks, when it gets above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, that's classed as a heat wave. Children have to come home from school after getting sunstroke. It's terrible. There are crashes all by the sides of the road. Like, cars are melting. 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's shocking. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Temperatures just work differently for British people. So I'm going to now this heat. I'm actually going to be able to refresh that. Almost dropped my phone. Uh-oh. I'm going to pull this up. And this heat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this fuller down. First, though, I'm going to make sure that I have access to the chat. There we go. Great having you all here. Boom. That'll go right there. Now, let's drive this fuller down in there. So, fullering is going to be a big element in the design of this little small piece here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this looks. Used many times throughout this little shelf bracket. Might end up overdoing it. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting experimentation in design, and most importantly, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. God, I get to swing a hand hammer again. Do you know how nice that feels? I've been at a grinder for the past 3 days, just grinding, and grinding is okay. When you're making a sword, grinding's okay, but it takes making a sword to make grinding okay. Now I'm going to take this. There's a little punch, a little tiny punch here. I'm going to find the middle of this, and we're going to give that a mark. Can I go further at this heat? Maybe. And I'm not going to be able to punch back from the other side. So, my hope here, if I can give this a little bit of a cool, my hope here is to punch out this plug over a hole, much like a punch and die would work in an iron worker machine or anything like that. Same kind of principle. Actually, at this temperature, I might be able to punch it from the rear. We'll see. I don't think I'd damage it that much. I don't think I would damage it that much. I'm going to completely ignore my own advice. I'm going to come into the rear and give that a hit. There we go. Deforming it, but the plug is starting to come out. We'll give it another hit and see if I can get it in this one, and not quite. Maybe. I think it's on its way. One more. Okay, that didn't do it. Now let's go back in here. And now I'll put it over it. There we go, it's fallen out. We have a hole. Now it's a little deformed from going onto the underside. So now what I need to do is I need to crisp that up with the fuller again. This is nice, it's an efficient little step there. Jason Fountain. Good thing you made the sword video. Where else would you get 100 people to tell you what you're doing wrong? I think it was actually probably more like 400. That's a great comment. God, I love swinging a hand hammer. I think I need to make like some forged projects. Like a forged, like, you know, maybe like a little kind of entryway gate or something like that. Like all forged, as much hand hammer work as possible. I need to do that at some point. I need to make some swords first, but eventually. No, Sam, I'm not gonna make a gate for your house. Oh, looking at me like that.
7-foot fence.
7-foot fence. Goodness. I'm joking, he wasn't looking at me asking for a gate.
would like a marriage room, no?
Yeah, he keeps saying that. How long have you been saying that?
I've even provided you the steel and the side scales to make that.
Really? I hadn't noticed. Well, you don't remind me enough, Sam. If you reminded me more, I might get to it. I'm joking. Please don't remind me more. Well, I thought that'd be a good, fun project for you to make. No?
I still have to give it to you to get it finished.
Oh. Why? Because you wouldn't finish it? Sam, I don't know how to make a hoof knife either. Okie dokie. On to the next one. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take my technical drawing. Here's the technical drawing, and that's enough of it because it's actually a letter, and it's 3 numbers and some straight lines. It's all in my head, and what was it? About 3.5 minutes before the show that I finalized this idea. I was going to do something else. I decided against it. Didn't have the appropriate steel. What I was going to do is I was going to take a piece of flat stock, chisel down the middle, pull outwards differently to make a bracket. So I have one 90-degree bend on the outside, one on the inside. It would look cool, but I would have wanted something like 40 by 6, 50 by 6 flat. I didn't have any of that. The best I had, I think, was 60 by 6, which is just too wide. So we went with this instead, which is fun because this is larger cross-section material, which I just like. I like working with bigger stuff. It is funner. Get to hit it harder. And that's good. Get to sweat a little more. Okay, that full line is right where I want it. Lovely. I love forging stuff. It is so good to be back at the anvil. How are we all? What are the comments that are coming in?
What is the weight of your current rounding hammer and why that weight?
What is the weight of your current rounding hammer and why that weight? Fabulous question. This is a 3.5 pound rounding hammer, and why this weight? Because it feels comfortable to me for the work that I'm doing and achieves the work that I need to do in a timely enough fashion, and it's comfortable. That's pretty much it, really. You know, you've got to get the work done. Can't swing a toothpick at it. So you've got to take what gets it done.
When you did your grappling hook video a couple of weeks ago, you explained how a rhombus won't forge well because the pieces slide apart. What prevented that with the diagonal lines you had in your sword?
That is such a good question. Somebody commented this question. It may have been you. This is like this is a really, really good little technical question here. Okay, so question is, on my grappling hook, it's up here. When I made the collar, you just stab yourself with it. He has the failure piece and he hit himself in the face. Don't throw it at me, no. No! Ow, my foot! Ow! He didn't get me. Okay, well, I'm going to take a heat, then I'll answer your question. Rhombuses. I'll explain it as I go, because I'm doing the same thing over and over. So, on the grappling hook, I form a rhombus, and the pieces tear themselves apart. Now, I then take this sword, and I make pieces that are rhombuses, and I hammer them together, and somehow it welds, and it stays together, instead of sliding apart. Why is that? That's such a good question. I have no idea. I have no idea. Now, the idea that first comes to mind, while I'm thinking here, oh, by the way, I used the word pontificate wrongly this week, so I apologize. This is my formal retraction of improper use of the word pontificate. God, that's what I get. That's what I get for leaving school at 16. You know, it was the day after I left that they started talking about that. Missed out on it. That makes it less funny. Why don't you just agree? No, you just go, yeah, Alec, you missed out or something.
Yeah.
Because you did finish.
Look where I am now.
Yep. Sat behind a toolbox. With 2 Mac computers in front of you, though. Hey, not many people get to say that. But the toolbox is a cheap toolbox. It's not a snap-on toolbox. So I have no... Okay, the reason... The idea that I have as to why it is that it works is because in the bundle of 4... I don't know. I have no idea why it works. I know this looks weird. I'm trying to work this out. I'm pretending my arms are a rhombus. And I'm trying to work out what's happening. If it's square, then you have a rhombus. I don't know. What probably helps is the fact that it's welded all the way around on the rhombus pieces for the mosaic, on the ferry flips or whatever you want to call it. It probably helps that it's welded all the way around, so it's at least stuck together before you go to the forge weld. It probably also helps that a power hammer is hitting down very evenly on it. It probably also helps that it's only a rhombus in this direction and not also a rhombus in this direction, so the pieces are only moving that way as opposed to that way. Uh-oh.
That's not going to work.
Ba-da-ba-bum.
My microphone's not going to work.
Really? What happened?
I turned it on, I went really massive feedback.
Oh.
I will just have to shout very loud.
Shout louder! Up-a-doo. This does work. I like this. Nice. There we go. Got ourselves a little plug-a-rooney. That's Italian for plug. Okay.
Everyone's commenting about all the feedback.
Oh, really?
When did Night Sleeps take it?
Yeah, when does my mixtape come out?
What kind of anvil is that? I can't tell.
Forged steel? No, it's a Brooks. Brooks cast steel anvil, 51 kilograms, 100 weight. Let's say 100 weight. Ba-da-da-da-da. So now I'm going to make the full arm for the bend. Dun dun dun. See, the thing is when I do a vlog, I could theoretically edit in that dun dun dun, but now it's I've got to do the sound as I go. And if we need to build up suspense at any point, Sam, I'm going to have to call on you for the dramatic music. The Batman suit's still here. Okay, if we get 2,300 viewers on this show, Sam's putting on the Batman suit. Whoopsie daisy.
GX5 dropped out.
Out of battery, probably. It has been a real battery eater lately.
I'll leave you on one while I get the battery.
Nice. Hey, there should be 2 underneath your laptop.
Like you.
No, they're old, but if you could put them on charge, that'd be really helpful. Okie dokie. So, I'm going to take another heat now. And we're going to keep going. Let's have a read some comments. Yo! What's up? Nah, I got them on here. Welcome everybody, Sam to the stage. Okay. So many comments. I don't know which one to read.
Read the best one.
Yeah, I know. Reading the best one is always easier than you think. Why no Fuller in the Sword? Wow, thank you so much. I'm so pleased. That's the first person to ask that question. Like everybody's asked that question. Why no Fuller in the Sword? Because the first part of the title of that video is my first sword. Just getting bevels in the middle is difficult enough for me. I'm taking it easy. I'm being aware of my limits. I'm trying to make sure I can make this thing as good as possible. I've never done a Fuller. I'll do a Fuller another time. Putting a Fuller in something like that has that taper, I have no idea how to do it. I imagine it takes a hell of a lot of skill. Mad respect to anybody that does. Okie dokie. I should have picked up a bigger hammer for that. If in doubt, bigger hammer. So yeah, because it's the first, that's why there's no Fuller. I'd love to do some Akumegane in the future. Any chance that we could start at the same time each Saturday, Sam?
Definitely.
No.
Works well for me.
No, the random time is the best that we can offer. Sorry? Well, that's all right. We'll survive, just. I bet you're bloody glad. It saves you having to get up into that Batman costume.
I might enjoy it.
Sorry? You think you'd enjoy it?
Someone, notable muffin, said, I really just came to watch Sam, not this Alec Steele scrub.
Oh, young scrub. Young scrub. Lovely. God, it's so nice to be at an anvil with a hand hammer. Goodness gracious. I've missed this. I need to do more hand hammer projects in the future. This is extraordinarily fun. Okie dokie. Now, I want to see if I have a pair of tongs that will hold on to this. First, make sure that we're all straight and square and true. There we go. It is stunningly difficult to get this stuff straight after you do start throwing fullers in there. Right, tongs. Tongs. Some Steve Howell Ballard Forge tongs. Some of my favorite tongs in my collection. Greatly enjoy using these. Now, I dare say these are pretty good.
Someone said vote on renaming Sam to Samwise. Please, can I show it?
Yeah. If you pass the phone, I'll put it up to the camera.
find it first.
Oh, it's funny. The trouble is, I've not seen The Lord of the Rings, so I don't understand the context fully.
But the worry is
Uh-oh, I think I just lost half my subscribership. I think I heard it. I think I just heard my subscribers falling.
The annoying thing is it like look a bit like him?
Oh.
With it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This one. This one. Right. Get it on there.
I present to you.
That's manually focusing.
Da, da, da. So a kind viewer of the YouTube channel made this and sent that in. So thank you very much. That's kind of hilarious. Okay. So let's lay out this next fuller line. Another 30 millimeters. I'm basically going to do the exact same on the other side. Ah! There we go, that's laid out properly now. Come right in here. Give the old whack. Good old thwack. Will make it work just lovely. Lovely. That'll work. We get a little toasty there. How are we all? Engrave your logo in the shield. I have never made a shield. I don't understand what you're talking about. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Down to 860. Lost 40 viewers because you haven't watched Lord of the Rings. Great. Okie dokie. So, once that's hot, just some more forging. In the meanwhile, what can I talk about? What do I do?
Start blacksmithing.
How do you start blacksmithing? Okay, that's a fantastic question. Depends where you are. It depends also how much you want to invest in it. If you're somewhere where you can find blacksmithing classes, and I know it seems very simple for me to actually have to articulate this, you'd be surprised. This sometimes does need to be articulated because sometimes things as simple as this can gloss over our minds. Google blacksmithing classes and then include your area. Start with your most local area, then your less local area, and then your more distant area. You start searching, like for example, I'm in Norwich. I'd start with blacksmithing classes Norwich, then I'd start with blacksmithing classes in Norfolk, my county, then I'd start blacksmithing classes England. And you'll eventually find them the farther you go. So you'll find blacksmithing classes eventually, and that's a great way to give it a go, because you can go take a blacksmithing class, you can experience what it's like to hammer on steel, you will be humbled by how much more difficult it is than you think, but you're going to have a lot of fun, and from there you'll at least have a contact, the teacher of the class, who's going to be able to help you get started. They're going to be able to let you know where it is that you can buy supplies, they might have stuff that you can buy from them, etc., etc., etc. That's like the easiest way to get into the craft. Now, you might not be able to travel or anything like that, and it might be more difficult to be able to get in the car for an hour to drive for a blacksmithing class or however far it is that you need to go. You might not be able to afford the class. Well, if you can't afford the blacksmithing class, it's going to be difficult to give it a go, because just simply setting up is, it can be costly. Now, that said, you can give it a go. You can give it a go in your backyard, and you can give it a really good Scottish try by being quite, what would be the word, creative with the resources available to you, and quite creative with the type of equipment that you're using to get the job done. For example, on my online school, there is an online course that will teach you how to take $90 and be able to make a whole lot of projects. Everything from a hook, leaf, whatever, leaf coat hook, little small neck knife, yada yada yada. These fun little projects which are, technique-wise, give you a good fundamental starting point, and it'll show you how to get in there pretty easily. That's beginblacksmithing.com. So now that that plug is out of the way, beginblacksmithing.com. Sorry, I should just reiterate. Beginblacksmithing.com. The course is how to start blacksmithing. You can get it now, $29, and actually, Live 20, get 20% off right now on Live 20. It is the live show, and Live 20 will get you 20% off. So that's another way of getting into it, and that course will show you, also run you through the fundamentals. Now, I think the course is great. I get great feedback from the course. You know, it's an online course, so it's video tutorials, very different than my blogs. You know, if you've seen some of the video tutorials, you'll know how the difference goes. But it isn't a substitute for being hands-on and having somebody be able to say, oh, hang on a second. You see when you're swinging your hammer, you're doing this, you're doing that. When you're holding it, it's a little wrong. It's no substitute for that. But it can be a great supplement to that, as well as a great way to get by without the one-on-one. And I just missed my tool, so I don't know how much you should trust me when I can't even hit the buttons. Okay, so I'm going to bottom this out on the anvil.
Osco Bob said, I've noticed that you sometimes save loads of piece in your private area. Have you ever burned yourself in the process?
Okay, asking about why it is that I hold something between my legs, and have I ever burnt myself between my legs? Not really. I mean, it tends to give you a good bit of warning if it's going to burn you, so I have sweat in my eyeball, and it's rather uncomfortable. The steel gives you a lot of notice as to whether it's going to burn you or not, so I've never been burnt in the old crown jewels. Wait, or family jewels, what do they call it? Crown jewels. So I've never personally been burnt. You know, you get a warning, the steel tells you, it's like, hey, it's, whew. So it's got toasty there.
We used to do that at college, now I won't talk about that.
Wait, what? What was that, Sam?
At college,
yep.
when we used to be in the forge, we'd get like someone be working away.
You give them the demonstration.
So imagine this is like an inch and a quarter by half. You'd sit there with a hot shoe while someone's working away. You just put it in between their legs like that. They wouldn't notice it was there.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Warmed up and then take it away. But the trousers are still like
That's terrible. That is terrible. Be glad that you didn't go to shoeing school with Sam Fowler. That must have been funny. I hope that you got it as bad as you gave it, though.
Yeah.
There we go. And that is the heat that I was talking about on that last little hold there. That was pretty toasty. Okay, another little macaroni. We're going full of wild. Full of craziness in this whole thing. Nice. Okay, throw another one in. Give it a. I'll straighten her up. Kaboom. Bang. Kablooey. Right, it is getting toasty.
Is that hammer on the floor, can you?
So, if you're new to the Alec Steele Show, you might not be familiar with the Alec Steele drinking game. Now, this is where, whenever I drop something, you take a swig of your beverage of choice. My recommendation is a good old-fashioned orange juice. If you're feeling particularly courageous, you get the orange juice with the pulp. That's how you know you're a man, when you get the orange juice with the pulp.
Forced air or Venturi burners?
Venturi burners.
Forced air or Venturi burners?
Forced air or Venturi. Doesn't really matter. Whichever one works for you. If you're always going to have electricity, then there's no problem to have a forced air burner. If you're sometimes not going to have electricity, then it's great to have a Venturi burner, because you can just have a propane bottle and you can do it. You can travel with a forge and it's no problem. You can be out in a shed in the middle of wherever without electricity and you can still work. So that's like the Venturi means that it's independent. You know, you walk around with a propane bottle and you can light a forge and go. You can't quite do that the same with a forced air burner. In terms of use, like, they're going to be the same. There's no difference in gas consumption. It's whether you can get enough oxygen to be able to make the most of the energy within the propane. That's it. In the Venturi, you'll do it. It's all a forced air burner. So you can't necessarily get a difference in efficiency. The big efficiency jumps are going to be with your refractory choice. How it is that you're actually insulating the forge, how it is that you're designing the forge, the relationship between the burners and the rest of it. They're all parts of a forge that really can help with your efficiency, for example. So that's things to bear in mind.
How do you pick a design for your first forge?
That's a great question. I was just about to answer that one. You're on the ball, Sam. How did I pick a design for my first sword? I didn't really. I was looking at kind of, you know, medieval whatever swords, and I thought that kind of, you know, just like standard, good old-fashioned taper down to the tip, 2 bevels. I thought that looked cool, and I wanted to give that a try, a little one-handed sword. This sword I'm considering this sword not as an attempt to make a replica of a historic sword or a replica of a movie sword or a video game sword. No, I'm treating this sword as like at least let me try and make something that is longer than the longest knife that I've made, has a straight blade, doesn't warp, has nice assembly, nice fit and finish, something that I can be proud of for a really long time, even in the context of it being my first. I still want to be proud of it down the line, so that's the effort with this sword. That's the effort. It's not to make an XYZ type of sword, it's to make a long blade. Nice fit and finish, nice finish work on the blade itself, beautiful Damascus pattern, etc., etc., etc. Structurally sound. And that's it. Now once this sword's complete, and I've taken all my tidbits of learning from it, tidbits, I should say, heaps of learning. I'm learning so much with this project. But once it is complete, from there I'm going to be able to try and undertake projects with a greater degree of care towards the actual, you know, what it is that it's trying to be. If it is a whatever it is, you know, maybe a katana. I missed my glasses when I went for the glasses push there. Whatever it is, you know, for example, whatever, you know, a katana or a specific type of medieval sword from a specific place that I want to try and emulate. Then I'll be able to give that a go with better confidence, and I'm able to put out something that I'm proud of, you know. Does that sound reasonable, Sam? I think it does.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Your burners are propane burners.
It will not work very well with butane. Butane won't get hot. Am I right to say that?
I have no idea.
I should check, but I don't think butane...
You can't, I don't think you can buy butane in big enough bottles. You never see butane like that. Now, you'll want to get a big bottle. No. I don't take on interns. I apologize, Jonah Wilson. My forge is cold. I might be running out of...
Oh no!
It's frozen. It's frozen.
It's so hot here, the gas bottle is frozen.
I know. I'm sweating. I have to say, I'm really impressed. I think I didn't even use one whole bottle for this entire project. Entire sword project. Not even a whole bottle of gas.
And I used that as well. For everything.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I got that bottle when you were away.
You got that bottle. So you did your projects. Because that one's been empty, I think, the whole time, almost.
Yeah, I just put it in there
so that the manifold would work. Yeah, so I've run that entire sword project. He made a batarang and the Damascus for it. Ace.
And a boomerang.
And a boomerang. Crack. Boomerang with a crack. Sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to rub it in.
Well, I wasn't listening.
Oh, okay.
Crack.
Yeah. This is not a precision measuring tool. This is a scribing tool and a poking tool, because I know somebody's about to write an offended comment about my use of this caliper. I use it exclusively for this kind of stuff. Measuring a heart and poking at things and scratching at things, and it can also be sometimes a, a substitute hammer. I'm joking. It doesn't quite get used as a hammer, but this is rough work, inaccurate work. So now,
Someone asked earlier, why don't you use a coke forge rather than a gas forge? A coke forge is far superior, and I know you love this question.
it's a great question. It's a great question because I've already answered it in my most controversial video to date, entitled "Why Coke Forges Suck." God, that was exciting. Why don't I use a Coke forge? Because this is so much better.
End of. No explanation.
Well, that's my answer mostly because I kind of like the idea of just annoying somebody a little bit with it. I like the idea of somebody saying, well, that's not an argument.
I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm right, you're wrong. But they would never give an argument themselves. Oh, God. Sorry, somebody, actually, I'm talking to somebody now. I can't say that. I'm going to be so rude. I am so rude. No, but why is it... I will now sway and buckle to the pressure of your question as it sits on my shoulders and wears me down. I use a gas forge because a coke forge, you cannot have multiple pieces in the fire, so you can't do production work as well as you can in a gas forge. Don't tell me that you can as well as you can in a gas forge, because you can't. You can get really good at working a coke forge and do it pretty well, but not as well as in a gas forge. There's one. Two, gas is cheaper than coal when you're doing production work, than coke when you're doing production work. Certainly here in the UK, when you're paying, whatever it is, £600 a ton, propane's cheaper than that if you've got a good gas forge. Three, you can have a massive heating area in a propane forge and heat up larger billets of steel for less cost in fuel here in the UK. Four, I can have a student go into a gas forge and start forging in a minute without having to explain to them how to use a coke forge, which takes a long time. They'll have clinker on their steel, they'll be burning steel, they're going to be annoyed because they don't know how to get a hot fire. Gas forge saves all the issue. Four, gas forges exist, and the reason they exist is because they were more efficient than coke forges, so people were like, hey, let's make a gas forge because this is going to be way more efficient than the coke forges, and people made more money by having gas forges in their workshops and factories, so that's why gas forges are here. Kind of stands to reason that that might be a case as to why they're good to use. Five, let's talk about a downside. Sam, roll the scary music. Straight with the Batman theme. You're obsessed, Sam, you're obsessed. Five, the downsides of gas. Bum, bum, bum. A bag of coke doesn't typically tend to explode. Typically.
Yeah.
Gas can, so you've got to be more careful, much more careful. Six, a downside of gas. You only have access from two sides of a cube in a gas forge. You can only go in from the front, or you can only go in from the back. In a coke forge, unless you have a silly English-style coke forge where you have this enormous wall up on one side, on a bottom blast coke forge at least, you have 360 degrees access in your in that plane, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides of a cube accessible, as well as the top. So you can get really, really weird shaped objects into the heat by simply laying them on a nicely built up coke fire or coal fire, which is great. So that's one of the great pluses of solid fuel, is you can heat things that you would never be able to heat in a gas forge because you couldn't fit them near the heat. That being said, you can usually turn the gas forge up and open up the door and heat it in the end of a forge. That's how I do it in a pinch when I need to, if there's a shape that I can't get inside a gas forge. I don't have a coke forge in my workshop anymore. I see maybe one day in the next 3 or 4 years I might need a coke forge. Gas will do it. Gas is much better for Damascus steel too. You get a much more even heat. You can heat up a much larger billet of steel evenly because you don't have those hot spot as you do in a coke forge, and you'd have to build a mound of fire that big to heat up a billet that I make my Damascus out of, etc., etc., etc. Wow, Sam, I've really flogged that horse rightly dead, haven't I? Well, I think the reason is it's been about a year since my last video talking about it. I kind of felt like flogging that horse. Speaking of horses, Sam, have you been kicked this week yet?
Not this week, I've been fortunate.
Congratulations.
I don't know, horses.
Really? Whoever asked that question is going to be so upset. I didn't necessarily give the kindest of answers.
You gave the correct answer.
Wow. Well, that's a little presumptive, isn't it?
I don't sell those.
Yeah, he's a gas forge salesman. Hey, remember, you can get your gas forge at forgeburners.com. Pre-order now. I dare say I'm quite pleased with this, Sam. Well, I haven't actually made it into a bracket yet. It just looks like a thing with loads of bulges on it. I'm going to put a touch mark on it. My vanity sticker. And my vanity sticker has new, all new, orange tape on it. Pretty exciting. Better identifiability. Ow, hot bar between my legs. We were talking about that earlier. That is a hot piece of steel. It's going to be good to cut that off and use tongs now. But one thing to note is you see it's all wobbly and wavy and not particularly straight. So we are going to take the fuller again and we're going to drive it down onto the surface. Yeah. Onto the surfaces. Interesting. And just make sure that it's flat across the back. Flat, flat, flat. Not quite flat. Let's hammer it right here. Scale in my mouth. Ow. How many viewers do we have right now, Sam?
10,098.
Who would have thought that making a shelf bracket would have not been the most exciting of things for people to see?
The person who asked the question said, I'm not upset, I asked the question, you gave your answer, I'm happy you answered honestly, and I love your videos anyway.
Great, well I'm really pleased about that. I was being, what would be the term? Well, I was having fun with the answer. So I'm pleased that I'm pleased that you were also able to have fun with the answer. What fun! Alright, let's give this a bend now. I'm going to set up a camera. Right, here's a little example of what I mean when I say you can put stuff in from the end of a gas forge. This is a pretty cold gas forge right now. But I don't want to heat up too much steel. Oh, they're half. Holy! Was that you? Are you sabotaging my forge to try and get me to use yours?
It's got cold now, put that back.
Close the bricks up.
Perhaps.
Right, I'm gonna be able to show you guys if you go right here. What you see I've done here, so I don't heat it all up and have a massive thing of heat. Just poke the thing in from the end there. It's gonna be great, that'll get it up to orange, no problem. And then I'm gonna be able to come to the vise. Yokely dokely. And I'll be able to give it a bend in a vise. Now, I'm going to make sure I have a square handy. How square is this square, you ask? Probably not very square. But it'll be good enough. See, that thing is now orange. Now, I'm going to need to be able to control my heat.
When are you going to be doing another class?
When am I going to be doing another class? I have no plans to do another class this year. I apologize.
You should do a Damascus hockey stick.
Ooh.
Assuming not fields, rather ice.
I think field hockey stick would be cooler in Damascus. But I have a bias. I used to play field hockey.
Someone wants me to make a Damascus handbrake.
Handbrake.
He's got a hydraulic handbrake on his new car.
Yep.
And it's got like the nastiest handbrake on it.
Yep.
So he's asked me to make a Damascus handbrake and get his company logo water jet cut in the side of it.
That's cool. You can do it.
Yeah, I've got a voice from Damascus though.
Oh. Isn't that funny? How could I? What possibly made me think that might be the next guess? The next words out of your mouth, Sam.
No, I'm going to make it. I just need to borrow your power hammer.
Oh yeah.
What's the about that long?
That's a freaking huge handbrake.
This is like talking on the radio.
What?
It's like showing someone something on the radio.
Yeah.
No one can see that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Come on. Twist. I need a different pair of tongs. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Good fun. That was easy. Got a little twist here, so take these tongs and give it the old kinkaroo. I say the darndest thing is on a live show. I never say kinkaroo and what's the brusharoo and what's the other stuff that I say?
Scottish twist.
I'm trying to just say something. Okay. Got a little bend, a Rooney. God, it just can't stop. There we go. So now, wonderful.
When are the next lot of hammers going today?
No plan for hammers yet. I don't even have a plan for when this sword's going to be finished. Probably still 50 episodes to go. That might be generous, actually. It's probably more like 60 at this rate.
What would stop someone from making gas boilers accessible from any direction?
Heat. Yeah, quite. That would be just called a rosebud torch.
Okay.
So, go for it. No, you go ahead.
I saw the grinder. Sam, you make grinders now.
Sam isn't making grinders, but he is reselling grinders, sourcing grinders, and oh, he's gone to go get it.
Yeah.
Oh, my next project, I actually want to make it on this grinder. It's a cool little thing. Looks really nicely built, really nicely engineered. So I'm excited to use it. Because my grinder is horrible. My knife making grinder, it's not a nice piece of kit. It's poorly engineered. You know, it's like the equivalent of an old rust bucket compared to a nice new little Porsche, I think. I've seen these grinders before. There's a noob grinder from Australia. So, do you have them available for pre-order yet?
I can get them at the moment. We're just trying to sort out equipment for a 56 seat motor mounted.
I.e. for America.
For America, basically. But at the moment, UK and potentially EU, but UK you can pre-order definitely. I'm going to make a link on my website later, which register your interest, so I can get an idea of companies. It's not, if I don't sell enough of them, US spec, it's not viable for them to change their design to get a bigger motor fitted. Yeah, I was hoping the abrasives would have turned up.
And I could use it on this saw.
Yeah.
Because I was using dull abrasives all day today.
I was hoping the abrasives would have turned up yesterday, and then we can put it together today and show you. I won't be selling obviously the motor. In the UK I can source motors, but I can't source motors in the US for obvious reasons. I've got a few attachments to come with it. This is like a multi-angle. It's always adjustable and that stuff. It comes with this basic tool rest, workpiece rest. And then you can also buy small contact wheels.
Keep yelling, keep yelling.
Small contact wheels. Move that out. You can then pivot that, and you've obviously got these are 2 different size contact wheels as well. You can then adjust that. Nice,
cool.
easy changing your
It's
belt
nice.
over.
It's got rubber on the wheels instead of the aluminium, so when you do use these, it's not chattering the same way it does. And the same on this little small wheel attachment. I like this here. If you pull that out,
Pull the whole.
no, that.
What?
This.
I'll pull this thing, yeah.
There you go. This is cool. The small wheel.
Wow. Drink.
Hey, drink. This small wheel attachment. You give that another.
It's a bit tight.
And hold on. Okay.
The tolerances are quite. Hang on.
It's tight. Basically, it goes. It's precision engineered stuff. So
It will go in. Just got to give it a wiggle.
but the small wheel attachment is awesome.
Also, they've
It's got 2 different sizes on one thing. Like that is just so cool.
the other thing attachments is there's obviously a larger contact wheel and a
So he does make a larger contact wheel.
and a surface grinder.
Surface grinding attachment.
Surface grinder attachment.
That is sick.
But I haven't got the prices for all. Oh, I've got the price.
Yeah.
I've only just got the prices, but.
Got to see if we can get a surface grinder out with your next shipment from there. Because that would be super useful for a lot of these projects, right? A lot of people at home. It's basically an attachment, I think, that goes onto the platen and gives you a.
It goes on the bottom.
On the bottom?
Sort of underneath.
Oh, on one of the wheels.
Yeah, so then it runs.
Oh, nice.
45 degree, and then you can tune the height and everything on it.
That's cool. So this is from Australia. All the way from Australia, mate.
Right, so it's a 2x48 belt.
2x48 belt.
So yeah, anyone who orders now, I haven't finalised it yet, but I'm planning to send out anyone who orders in this first shipment, obviously it's a pre-order, I'm going to throw in a pack of 4 belts with it, just kind of, which will be a 60, 120, 240 and 845 Trizac belt.
Very, very nice. So yeah, that's exciting. So once all that's up and running, it's going to be a really easy source to get belt grinders and such. Are you also going to do belts, Sam?
Yeah, belts, I've got some belts on the way.
Belt grinders and belts, which is, that's just fantastic. It's very exciting. So I'm going to get an oily rag. Okie dokie. I don't think this rag is oily enough. So I'm going to try and go on the hunt for some oil. Where in the workshop did I keep my vegetable oil? I don't use vegetable oil a lot now. I used to have it in very... So I guess I have some linseed oil, and that'll work perfectly. So I'm going to take my linseed oil jug, and I'm going to get this rag a little bit soaked. Oh, there we go. Lovely. As I narrate my process, cap goes on the linseed oil. Make sure I remember to bring the tongs back. That's a classic workshop mistake. You work to one end of the workshop, walk to one end of the workshop with something to get something else, and then come back without what you walked there with. So now this piece should be warm. I've been leaving it on the forge here. I want to do a hot oil finish. That's not quite hot enough, so I'm going to warm her up again, just in the outside of the forge. There we go. Start giving it the old hot oil. Still a little.
You stay there with the work.
Yeah. And what, you're going to do your job of...
My electrical cable.
Oh, you poor thing. Here we go, I'll do this. I actually need to turn off the bottle anyway, so it works well.
What's the battery looking like?
It's fine. 2 bars. It might just be that my batteries have gone through too many cycles at this point and don't like holding their charge.
Right, now the forge is off.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, let me come over there. Because people couldn't hear a lot of what I said over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, I have to change. Hang on, let me turn the headphones off. That'll annoy me talking.
Yep.
Can't do it in my ears, hello. Yeah, now that the
Forge is off.
forge is off.
There we go.
I'll say that one. Get there. The motors, we're just having to change the size of the frame to fit a US motor. So if you're in the UK, you can pre-order them now. Hopefully going to be getting them. I've got to speak to them to get a confirmed lead time, but they shouldn't be too long. But I need to get a minimum order from the US market to make it viable for the company who make them, 84 Engineering.
Sorry. I was trying to sneeze quietly and ended up in a extraordinarily effeminate little sneeze there. That was bad.
So if you're interested in one, the best thing you can do is just send me an email on the contact form on the website. Like I said, they will come with a pack of 4 belts. As it's a pre-order. When I've got them in stock, obviously that offer won't be available. So yeah.
Great. So if you're in the US, send him a message, tell him that you're interested in a grinder. If you're in the UK, you can already pre-order it in what, a month or 2? Arrival?
What, for US or UK?
UK.
I'll have to double check, but anyone who orders will be kept updated.
Right.
You know,
and obviously as a date's known, then we'll let people know about it anyway.
That's why I'm giving the belts away with it, just as, you know, as a kind of gesture of goodwill to say, bear with me.
And obviously once we talk about the grinder more in the future,
yeah,
then you'll have a better idea of the lead times that you can work with, right? Okay, that's cool. Wonderful. Well, fun. I'm going to show you guys this piece. Fun, 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 fun. Do. What is the price in pounds of the 2x48 without the motor for the UK market? 550. 550 pounds in the UK market.
How much in US dollars? 550 converted to US
680, maybe 700. 580 times 1.24 now, is it? There we go. There's a little bracket-a-rooney. Bracket-a-rooney. Are they seeing this?
No, because you've got it zoomed in. Oh, there we are. Yeah.
There's the bracket-a-rooney. It's difficult to do cinematics on the live show because I have to pull focus, and then there we go, cinematic. Oh, look at that cinematic. Yeah, cinematics. Woo! Pretend slow-mo. Make it look like it's a Slido when I have an HDMI cable wrapped around my arm.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What's holding up the other side of the shelf?
Another one of these.
Oh, I see. We're not doing that now.
No.
Oh.
I'm tired. I need sleep. I've been working since 6
PM.
AM. Look at that. Look at that there touch mark there, that vanity sticker.
That's S for Sam, isn't it?
Sam has always been known for his humour.
Oh, don't do that.
Sorry, it was zoomed in by accident because I'm focusing.
Sorry, it's looking at you now.
Ah!
It's looking at you.
Oh. Switch it back.
No.
There we go. Here's a little bracket. Cool, fun playing with fullers. Ha 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 ha.
No, still looking at you.
Oh, I thought I was showing them the bracket. Okay, that's fine. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen, what time is it now, Sam?
It is now 9:30ish.
9:30, great. At 10 o'clock, British Summer Time, so that'll be exactly 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central. I don't know what it's going to be, Pacific. I can't do maths. I didn't leave school.
At some time in the next 10, 15
No,
minutes.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Then it's up at 10.
Yeah.
So in 30 minutes,
24.
today's vlog is going to go live. At the next turn of the hour, it's going to go live. I want to make sure you have your notifications on. Make sure that you share it with your friends, hit like and comment. A good comment in the comments below. And in the first kind of 2 minutes of it being live, I'm going to pick somebody and we're going to give away a t-shirt. That'll be fun. So I'll reply to you. And
That t-shirt or?
no, you're not getting my t-shirt. Sorry. You probably don't want my t-shirt. I'm going to keep my t-shirt, but I will send you an actual t-shirt that's clean.
Yeah, it's been washed.
I'll send you a t-shirt that's new and clean and stuff like that. So make sure you got your notifications on. I look forward to reading your comments there in half an hour or so. Batman suit.
No, not Batman suit.
What's that?
Just keep talking.
What are you doing?
Just keep talking.
T-shirt?
No, just keep talking.
I don't know what he's doing. Oh, well, I can't now. I'm distracted. He made this gesture. He goes and then points. I don't know what he's doing. No. Goodness. What's that? Distracting everything.
I was trying to get your Spider-Man suit.
No, I'm not putting on the Spider-Man suit. Goodness. I don't think there's anything Spider-Man that can be made. No, it wasn't a Spider-Man suit. But anyway, it has been a pleasure. It has been a blast. It's great having you here. Episode 44 episodes. We've almost been doing this for a year.
We probably have nearly been in, because we think we've missed...
Wait, no. I actually know full well. First week of July. First Saturday of July is when we did the first show. So, you know, we missed however many shows. But what's that? The next show is going to be the anniversary? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think so. Something like that. So that'll be fun. Next show is a year of the live show.
Just zoom in on that again.
On this.
Yeah. With focus as well. Ooh! What's that?
Du-du-du-du. There we go, ladies and gents. There's the bracket. Great fun hanging out with you all. Look forward to seeing you in 25 minutes or so on the vlog. Make sure that you like, you comment, you share it with your friends. I'm going to be giving away a t-shirt. It's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. So have a great day. Thank you, Sam, for all your help. Massive fun having you in the workshop. Massive fun having you guys in the workshop. And we'll see you pretty soon. Let's call it there, Sam.
Okay.